right, we're live. Hello and welcome everybody to the Lobbycast. This is episode 364 for February 19th, 2016.
Today?
That is today.
Yeah.
With me today is Jordan. We have figured out that he hasn't been on the show in a little over a year and a half, so welcome back.
Thanks. Yeah,
Yep.
it's exciting.
Even if only for a show.
Probably.
We'll see what your schedule's going to be like in the near future.
Life is busy.
Life is busy. Yeah, it's amazing that we've been able to manage shows even as many as we have. I mean, we're right around the 7-year mark, so that is a lot of Lobbycast because we started in March of 2009.
Wow.
So we're way up there. Which is why it doesn't seem like it's been that long since you've been on the show, because in the grand scheme of things, it's just a portion. Yeah.
I don't know.
Because you came in and started appearing on the show on a fairly regular basis, after year one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you were still in El Paso. You were still living in Texas whenever we started the show.
No.
No? Were you living here whenever we closed down the... Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even realize.
I had been, I'd gone out to the store and was working for Sam at least once a week.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Wow.
Time flies.
So it may have been, whether you're having fun or not, right? So maybe it was before the end of the first year, before you guys were involved in the show.
I would say that it was pretty early on.
Yeah.
Within the first 6 months of the show.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
And then, taking little hiatuses because of work, which is why I had been on in a year and a half. The schedules are terrible.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just really jazzed.
Awesome. Well, let's get this thing going before they kill Guy. All right. Well, let's get down to it. We'll get some news going here. Did you have any news that had caught your eye recently?
Nothing. I'm looking at your notes here and some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, first off, let's say goodbye to a few people that we knew from our childhood. Harper Lee passed away, and she is the author of To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay.
And I think most people have read that book at some point in their life.
Once.
I've read it twice because I know I had a book report that I wrote on.
Right. And I say that I read it. I must have read it for a book report, which means that I didn't read all of it.
Yeah, it used to be required reading in schools. I don't know if it still is. It's kind of interesting that that book has never been out of print since its original publishing.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. At one point, and I'm not sure if it actually got widely published, but she had written kind of a story, and I think it was before she published To Kill a Mockingbird, kind of supplemental type material, kind of like her Silmarillion or whatever, that actually portrayed Atticus Finch as kind of a racist character, the lawyer, Scout's father. So that doesn't come across in the
main story,
in the finished book, but that was at one point at least the intent. So which would have put a whole different spin on it. I had the lawyer defending the guy,
right,
also been racist. A little bit racist. So anyway, she and George Gaines, and you may not immediately recognize the name George Gaines, but He's the actor who played the Commandant in the Police Academy movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
big guy.
Yeah.
Tall guy. He's funny in those shows.
Yeah.
You didn't see him in too many things, but definitely a character actor, and had a memorable bit in those movies. They were both in their 80s, so again, people who have been at some point part of our childhood or part of our life through entertainment. They're going to start dropping off.
People start dying.
Yeah, a lot of people are hitting their expiration dates.
I didn't see Police Academy until I was in the Police Academy.
Really?
Yeah. So that was, I was 30. Still am.
Saw the first one.
I haven't seen any other ones.
Yeah, you really.
I didn't really want to.
Yeah, but yeah. So it's an interesting thing for sure. We got some movie news. Kurt Russell is joining Guardians of the Galaxy.
What role?
Too. He's got to be his dad.
You think?
I think so.
Okay.
And we met his mother, but his father was a mystery.
Right, but his father wasn't human either.
Right. So
I mean, they could make Kurt Russell not human, I guess.
Right.
But
yeah, I mean, prosthetics and makeup, or he could just roll like he is.
Yeah, the big old mustache.
As we've seen, there are plenty of humanoid type characters in Guardians of the Galaxy.
I watched that again recently.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. Pee-wee's Big Holiday has gotten a trailer, and Paul Rubens has not changed.
No.
Right? It's been, what, 20 years? Maybe. Since his TV show and
25
movie.
maybe.
Yeah, it's been a long time, and he's got the Patrick Stewart vampire gene, because when you see him in makeup as Pee-wee, he looks the same.
Like Pee-wee, yeah.
Yeah.
What else has he been in recently?
Yeah, I don't know. He's been in bit parts here and there, and I know he was in something not too long ago that I saw.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what it was. Seems like he's been on a couple of TV shows.
Yeah.
He may have even just like cameo appearances. No big roles as far as I know. But I haven't really kept track of his career.
Sure.
So,
that trailer is ridiculous.
Yeah, it really is. It's got Alcide from True Blood in it, and it's a Netflix movie, so I'm not sure exactly how it's going to be distributed. If it's going to be on Netflix from day one, if it's actually going to hit theaters, I'm not exactly sure how that all is gonna roll out, or if it's only going to be on Netflix. But at any point, I will watch it, just to watch it.
I will not.
I will definitely watch it.
Nice.
So, Jordan, have you seen Deadpool?
I haven't. I know. I've been wanting to go see Deadpool and Zoolander, and
I'll take a pass on Zoolander.
Yeah, and I feel like Zoolander is probably something I will see off like Redbox at some point. But,
sure.
But
yeah,
Deadpool,
that makes sense.
I'm really wanting to go, and
well, it should stick around in the theaters for a while, because
maybe I can convince my wife to go. And
it's really good. It's way up there. It's got to be definitely top 3 Marvel movies.
Nice. And yeah, Deadpool was always one of my favorite.
And it's not even a Marvel. It's a Fox, I think.
Really?
Who has X-Men? Is it Fox? It's Fox. Then Deadpool's a Fox movie.
Huh.
Yeah.
But it's still.
Yeah, it'll be interesting going forward, because it's split up between Fox, Sony, and Marvel Studios, Disney.
Right.
And so
I thought Sony gave up Spider-Man.
Sony didn't give up Spider-Man. Sony is allowing access to Spider-Man.
Okay. Got it.
So Spider-Man will appear in Marvel
Marvel.
Civil War, but then Sony is going to do Sony's going to do the standalones, and with that same actor.
Oh, they're going to keep him?
Not the most recent one, but the actor who's going to play him in Civil War.
I wonder why they're not keeping him.
I don't know. I thought he was
really good.
I thought he was good.
Yeah.
And then Marvel will have some creative control over the character within the Sony movies.
Okay.
And then, but Deadpool, and when you see it, you know, the references are all, or nearly all, to the
Days of Future Past, that's one?
To the X-Men side.
Okay.
And Colossus is in it.
Yeah, I see him in the, because he was one of the, Weapon X guys, was he?
Wolverine and Deadpool were in theory, but that's not Deadpool's. Well, it could be Deadpool's origin in this one. You'll have to see it to see. I don't think it was ever put together. It's not the same Weapon X program that you see that Wolverine go through.
Okay.
Because Wolverine's not involved in this one. It may be like an offshoot or something that somebody started back up.
Which kind of goes into what you're going to talk about with Wolverine 3 going to be rated R.
Yeah. And the reason for that is that now that the movie industry has seen that a superhero movie can be successful with an R rating, there's going to be more. Because Deadpool, as we talked about as I talked about last week, I think it was a solo show, Deadpool had the most successful rated R movie opening ever. So it's making money.
Yeah.
And which means it's going to stick in the theater for a little while.
Good. And ever since Wolverine Origins, or what was it? What was the name of that one?
With X-Men Origins Wolverine.
X-Men Origins Wolverine. That's the one it was. And it had Deadpool, and he ended up being like the Weapon X or whatever the random nonsense they decided.
Right,
to do.
And they did change that up a little bit, but they reference it.
Interesting. Okay.
In a weird way, within this movie, because really nothing's off limits.
And Ryan Reynolds, he was absolutely the best person to pick for that role. I don't think I could pick anybody else for Deadpool. And the Merc with the Mouth is in Van Wilder. Right?
Yeah, and by the numbers, Deadpool had a $50 million budget and is so far grossed $260.2 million.
Really, they did all that with only a $50 million budget?
Yeah, it's a box office success.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So like I said, Wolverine 3 is going to be R-rated, more than likely, and it won't be the only one. There'll be others that follow suit.
The thing is, I mean, comic books in 2016. Comic books aren't for kids anymore, and aren't just for kids, I should say, anymore. And they haven't been for 20 years. I mean, they've been violent. They've been dealing with a lot of different things. There are still some elements in some books that are for kids, and you can get them, but.
So something in looking at the box office numbers, I saw this other bit. In Russia, Deadpool broke Star Wars Force Awakens opening weekend. How about that?
Good for Russia.
Yeah. So it's very, very good news for fans of comic book movies. So a little more flexibility in the content, I guess.
Wow.
Which we'll see. Which we'll see. I look forward to talking to you about it after
I see it this weekend sometime. I gotta figure it out. Maybe.
Maybe.
I'll try to see it this weekend. I think movies like Guardians of the Galaxy don't need to be rated R. They don't have any reason to be. They were absolutely perfect just the way they were.
Yeah, I agree. It's not for every single one, and I think if they all go rated R, it would spell the end of the comic book movie.
Yeah,
but
Deadpool is a rated R character.
Yeah, Deadpool's rated R character. Wolverine, I agree.
Absolutely has his moments as a rated
Yeah.
R character.
Daredevil, Punisher.
Those are darker.
Elektra,
yeah, those are darker stories, and
so it'll be interesting to see how it all shakes out. See which ones go rated R and which ones don't.
Right.
But that's always been the fear, is that a rated R movie means box office death.
Right.
And that's why you see mostly PG-13 movies, is because they don't want to alienate any of their audience, so potential audience.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So glad to see that going. I think that's all the news, unless you thought of something.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get into the weekly Whatchas. Jordan, what you listening to?
I use Slacker radio on my phone, and the Macklemore and Lewis station. Whenever his Macklemore songs come on, I'm good with that. But otherwise, it's a terrible station. I don't understand. He's got a lot of hip hop influence, and he's a little bit poppy, but it's like one of his songs, good rap song, and then like some random teen pop.
Really?
Nonsense. Yeah, I don't understand
on Groove Xbox Music. The Macklemore and Lewis channel is good.
Right. Yeah.
And it's definitely not poppy. It's more rap.
Yeah, I don't know what it's just like. So I listen to that sometimes, the 80s hit station, and then the quiet music station. But I just listen to music. Listen to music on my way to work. I might turn on the radio at work occasionally, but rarely.
Nice. Yeah. On quiet music note, I have found my soundtrack to Skyrim.
Nice.
I still have not listened to it.
Really?
But I have it. It's a 4-disc set. It's actually really cool.
Last I saw it was in your cabinet over here.
Yeah, I found it in a cardboard box.
I have listened to that. I don't know how many times. I think the second song is called Reborn, and I could tell you, like, yeah, if I knew how to play an instrument, I could probably play it for you.
Nice.
I don't know how many times I've listened to that soundtrack. It's awesome. I used to write mountains of reports listening to that.
Very cool. Yeah. What else?
I think that's it. Okay. Yeah, just music, no podcast for sure. My drive to work is 15 minutes, so
it doesn't allow you really to get into shows. Mine's only slightly longer than that. Yeah, maybe 20 minutes with traffic.
You just work the next main street down.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this week I've been listening to Common Sense with Dan Carlin. Always liked that show. That's cool. I don't know. I don't think there's a new Hardcore History out yet.
I'm trying to think of what's the last one I.
Did you start the new series?
I don't know.
There's only, as far as I know, there's only one episode of the new series.
I know I listened to Blueprint for Armageddon. It was the World War I.
That was great.
Those 4 episodes, 4 or 5, 4.
I think it was 4 4-hour episodes or 5 4-hour episodes.
I have not listened.
It was a lot.
Kings of Kings. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I did.
I've never seen the artwork for those. That's
pretty cool. There's actually 6 for Blueprint for Armageddon. I
was there?
All of those. Yeah.
Oh, a full day, 24 hours of Blueprint for Armageddon. I think that rings a bell now.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember the Wrath of the Khans, Thor's Angels.
They're all good.
Yeah, I don't think that there was ever one that I didn't like.
Yeah. I think Blueprint for Armageddon is probably my favorite. But is there only one?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, just one episode of King of Kings.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I think out of all of them, that one's my favorite for sure. All right. After that, I also listened to Fat Man on Batman. Always enjoy that show with Kevin Smith. Something you may not have heard, but I talked about last week is that Kevin Smith has a series on AMC that he's already gone into. He's already done the pilot for, and that may be coming soon. And then also, I believe it's on ABC or CBS. He's going to be on a show called Geeking Out with Greg Grunberg from Heroes.
Okay.
Yeah, a half-hour pop culture, geek culture little show. I'm sure that'll be good. I like both those guys.
Yeah.
So.
I like Kevin Smith.
Yep. And then also Coverville, which is a locally based show about cover songs.
That's a good one. I listened to the cover station. I like it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, get to what you're watching, Jordan.
Coming home from work, kind of like a halt, so I've been able to watch some movies, whatever's on the satellite. So recently I've watched Kill Bill 1 and 2.
Nice.
Those are good.
Yeah,
those are good movies.
There may be a 3. I think he's trying to work on a 3rd one.
Kill Bill 1 and 2, Predator 1 and 2, Ooh. Predator 2. Predator 1 I really liked, but
yeah, Predator 2 was terrible.
Absolutely awful. Predator versus Alien. I watched that recently.
Wow, how did you get wrapped up in that? What started you down that rabbit hole?
It was just on.
Okay.
I need mindless entertainment.
There you go.
I'm usually doing reports or work or something like that.
Did you find yourself saying "get to the chopper"?
No, get to the chopper. No. I know I watched something else and I'm trying to. Point Break. The Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves.
Is the new one out yet?
Oh yeah, it's been out and gone for a while.
Out and gone?
Yeah, it was in and out of the theaters.
Oh wow, I'm unaware of it.
I'm fairly certain. I'll have to clarify that, but yeah, the new one reminded me of an entire movie based upon the scene from The Dark Knight Rises, where they hijacked the plane in midair with another plane.
Yeah,
it seemed like it was just a whole movie that was that scene repeating itself over and over and over.
I feel like they didn't need to call it Point Break. That it also almost could have been like XXX3.
Yeah, it could have been any of those. Yeah, it is already out of. It was a 2015 movie.
I had no idea.
Release date December 3rd, 2015.
How about that?
The only law that matters is gravity.
That's terrible.
That's terrible. I don't think there was anything else that really stands out. Oh, Firefly. I watched the majority of Firefly.
Is there a rewatch for you?
No, I've never seen it, and I haven't finished it.
Okay.
I haven't seen Serenity.
What's your take on it?
I really like it. I think that it's just kind of hokey, but I like the idea. I like the actors in it quite a bit. I think they're really fun. Plus, one of them is from El Paso, so there's always a bonus point there. But yeah, I liked it a lot. I just think that it's a lot. It's a fun series. I don't understand why it got canceled, but I just think the only thing that I could really think of why it got canceled is that the timing was wrong. If that had come out now, it would be a hit.
Yeah, maybe so.
So, yeah. But I'm looking forward to finishing that up and watching Serenity, and whenever that does happen, being done with it.
Oh yeah, that's right. So, did you ever watch any of Mad Men?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Christina
Hendricks.
Yeah.
I really liked her in Firefly.
Yeah. She was
Saffron.
Good. Saffron, yeah. Yeah. Very good. The swindler of all things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Firefly has been really good. I can't really think of anything else that I watched too much of.
Yeah, I don't have the same issues with Firefly that I do with Buffy. Firefly I liked, but I don't understand the
diehard
fandom of the show. I was like, it was all right. It was okay.
Yeah.
But Buffy, I'll never understand why people liked it.
Yeah, I couldn't watch a CW show.
Oh, speaking of, I owe Erin like 6 or 7 episodes of Angel because she did finish season 1 of Hannibal.
Huh?
Did you ever watch Hannibal?
I watched season 1 of Hannibal. Okay. Really enjoyed it. Yeah. I haven't watched. I
still don't know how that was a network show.
Oh yeah.
NBC.
Yeah. It was a dark, and are they already done with it?
It did get canceled
after
season 3. Yeah. And I think 3 was a short season.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly. Yeah. But really enjoyed that show.
Yeah.
So, what else?
That's it.
Okay. Well, I watched a couple of shows that I usually watch. Comic Book Men. I don't watch every single one, but I watched this one because Stan Lee was on it.
Nice.
And he hung out at the shop and was like helping guests and stuff. Yeah.
Just like blew their mind.
Yeah. So I watched that, and then I watched. I think I'm caught up on Arrow, but I'm not caught up on the Flash yet. But I watched a little bit of each of those.
Sure.
I'm still not sold on Legends of Tomorrow, which is a spinoff of those 2 shows.
Oh.
So it's got Adam and Black Canary and a couple of other side characters. It's a neat idea. It's a little cheesier than the other 2. Oh, that's right. Definitely more a Marvel guy.
Yeah. Marvel.
So I watched a few shows that are brand new, or pretty new, and some hits, some misses. Some of the hits, Not Safe with Nikki Glaser. Okay. She's a female comedian, has her own show, kind of like Amy Schumer. Yeah. It's very similar in structure, but I really like it. I actually think I like this one better than the Amy Schumer show.
I don't like Amy Schumer very much.
Yeah, and that one's on Comedy Central, and then I also watched 11/22/63, which is based on a Stephen King novel from 2011, and it's a guy who is able to go back in time. It's a very limited time travel. He can go back in time, and it's always to 1960, a specific time of day at 1960, and his goal is to try and prevent the assassination of John F. Kennedy.
Interesting.
And so he can go and he can fix things, and he's got the years in between the time he arrives and the assassination. And he can then travel back to current time. But if he travels back to 1960, it resets anything that he changed the previous time. So it's like it was a double length pilot, and it doesn't look like he's going to go back and forth. I think he's going to stay on this path until he utterly fails or or find something that he needs to reset.
Interesting. Time travel shows are always
so. The goal is to go do something that will prevent the assassination, and then go back to present time, and then never go back.
Right.
And it's interesting, and it's got one of those Final Destination kind of things to it. It's that time, the past doesn't want to be changed,
right?
And so if you mess with it too much, it will like fight you a little bit, and it's just really it's interesting, and it's James Franco as the lead, and I like it.
He's not.
I like it a lot.
Pineapple Expressing around.
No, and yeah, I they do a really good job with it. I really enjoy it, and that's a Hulu show, so it's accessible to most people. Darknet was kind of interesting. It's more documentary style, and it's just talking about different parts of the internet, and like how people use the internet, and how it's ingrained in people's lives and stuff like that. So that one's kind of interesting, but I typically like documentary type shows. Those Who Can't, and it's like a Bad Teacher kind of deal, but it's a comedy, and it's kind of like Workaholics.
Got it, but they're all teachers.
Kind of like that, yeah. And it's on True TV, and the main
Court TV,
something like that.
True TV is Court TV.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a departure from their normal programming, but it's a comedy troupe based out of Denver that are the stars of the show. So that's it's kind of funny. I'm not sure where I stand on it. I like Workaholics, but I don't watch it. If I catch an episode every now and then, it's funny, but I didn't really, get into it. And then the fail was Horace and Pete, and this is a web series, and it's Louis C.K. and Steve Buscemi. I saw that they were involved with it. They were the main stars of the show, so I figured, it's got to be good,
Right.
It's awful.
Terrible.
It's so hard to watch because it's just people being mean to each other, but in a very dry way, not in a like funny way.
Right.
And it's a very quiet show where people are like just angry and brooding a lot, and yeah, it's just not good.
Okay.
So I won't be revisiting that one. I actually did not finish watching the episode, the pilot episode. So, one other little bit of news, that those Who Can't was actually renewed for a second season before the pilot aired.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they were impressed.
They've got some faith in it.
Very cool.
That's about it for what I've been watching. I had planned to see Deadpool for a third time this week, but I have not.
No.
Yeah. That's it for that. Let's go on to What's Your Plan, Jordan. What's your plan?
Playing. Last thing I played, which has not been this week, but or the week before, is Fallout.
Where are you in your Tales from the Wasteland?
Yeah, I'm sure it's been out long enough that we can just talk about it, right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I have
released in November, so yeah.
Opened up and done quite a bit of work with all of the factions. Right now, my initial thought was, hey, let's do the Railroad. I like these guys. These guys are cool.
Yeah, that's how I finished the game, was with the Railroad.
And then I started getting further and further into that, and like, Steel's got some really cool stuff.
That'll be my third playthrough.
But I really don't like the Institute very much. I don't think I would ever want to do that playthrough.
Yeah, I'm doing that playthrough right now.
Yeah.
And I'll get into that whenever.
Yeah, I don't even know if I'll actually finish it. I'm sure I'll finish up the Railroad and be done with the game. I just, with my limited time on playing games, it is an endeavor to finish a game that big.
Have you gotten wrapped up in the settlements?
No, and I don't even touch settlements. I don't mess
You
with
just
that
have
stuff.
the one, you sanctuary?
No, I mean I have a bunch of other ones, but I don't do anything with them.
Oh, okay. You don't do the upkeep on them. Gotcha. And you don't go protect them or anything?
I mean, I'll go and if I get the little mission notifier, I'll go help them out. But,
the ones on the radio and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't.
You don't do the missions through the main guy.
No, the only one I did was basically set up security at Mercer Safe House and Sanctuary.
Oh yeah, because that's the quest to open up that one.
And it's really interesting is finding that people have Mercer Safe House in different places throughout the map.
Really?
Like my Mercer Safe House was not in the same place that Will's was. It's based on
I didn't know that.
What places are available.
Okay.
At the time that you get it, I'm pretty sure.
Wow,
And
that's interesting. I didn't realize that they were dynamically placed.
Will has this settlement on an island out to the far southeast corner. I've never been over there.
I've got one out there too.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. But yeah, that's it. What about you?
Also playing Fallout. I haven't played very much this week. I'm probably 6 or 7 hours into my second playthrough. It's kind of an interesting thing. Part at the beginning of the game where you meet Marcus Garvey and you Preston Garvey, okay. Sorry. Preston Garvey, and you're kind of escorting him to Sanctuary Hills. In this playthrough, I didn't do that.
You left?
I just left. I went to Diamond City instead and started my Institute playthrough, like main storyline stuff. So in this one, I'm just going to burn through the main storyline.
Right.
And I think it's interesting that they don't actually make you do that part of the intro to the game.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what Bethesda is. Bethesda, right?
Yeah.
They're good about it. You can just go.
Yeah.
You have one main thing, like getting out of the vault or getting out of the cave or whatever it's going to be, and you do that, and then after that, they're like, well, here you go. Here's a game. Have fun.
Yeah, here's this world for you to go play in.
Yeah.
So I may not ever have a single settlement in this playthrough.
I wish I would have done that.
Well, I didn't even know that was available as an option. You know, it's like, okay, come with us, and I did, but the second playthrough, I did not.
Yeah.
So I'll finish out the Institute one. I mean I've done everything to just burn through on the story. I've set the combat to easy.
Nice. Okay.
So I'm just gonna go through and get the storyline for the Institute.
Nice.
And that'll be cool. I'm just gonna go pistols with this character.
That's
probably stay with 10 millimeter pistols the entire time.
That is not what I do. My character does a lot of everything, but he's main weapons delivery.
Oh, the
Jimmy Bond guy.
Yeah,
that's like a little PPK, and I put a big old silencer on it.
That is an extremely powerful weapon when it's fully upgraded.
And when you are good in bats,
that's what I use I used towards the end of my main.
I can go through like 3 magazines or some nonsense like that in bats, and every 5 hits is a critical.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it's
like, that's what I'm gonna do on this one, is focus on that, and hopefully I get that weapon.
Yeah, I have a.
I think you
get
forced into that weapon.
I
got it late in my other game.
Oh, I got it very early.
Yeah,
I have spent the majority, because the railroad was the first thing I did.
Did you get it through the railroad?
That's where I got it.
Oh, crap.
Because it's for delivering the. But it's early on in the railroad mission.
Okay, so I'll do enough of the railroad stuff just to get that weapon.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm building this character around is that weapon.
Yeah.
Stealth and bats.
Yeah, that's what I do. And the other thing with the railroad is ballistic weave, which is real important for people like me that want to run around in a tuxedo and the little James Bond gun and sneak around shooting people, which is what I do.
Oh, that's awesome!
Yeah,
I love that.
I think
Dun, 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 dun. You do
played,
it, don't you?
Oh yeah,
You
I
say
played
that
the
you sing the music.
majority. As soon as I got Ballistic Weave and I got the Deliver, I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, oh, there's no reason for me not to be running around in a tuxedo with a, sometimes with a fedora, sometimes without.
Yeah. I actually didn't have, I don't think, no, I had some military fatigues, so I was able to. No, actually, I don't think I ever upgraded. I got distracted by burning through and finishing the story at the end.
Right now, I think I'm running around in Courser uniform.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not a ton of outfits that you're able to reinforce with Ballistic Weave, but definitely cool. There's a good variety, I would say. My next playthrough is going to be obviously Brotherhood of Steel, but I had this awesome fight because when you're going through with the railroad, at some point, the main story logs I was continue working with Father, and so I worked with Father, and they send you to the Battle of Bunker Hill. Well, I get to Bunker Hill, and the battle is to kill railroad people.
Yep.
I didn't want to do that.
Right.
And so I did not fire a single shot in that battle. It was
Super Mutants, Brotherhood, Railroad.
It was. I forgot about the Super Mutants, but they were there. Yeah. So it was Super Mutants, Brotherhood, Institute, Railroad, and no. Somebody apparently had grazed a caravan guard at some point because there were 2 caravan guards involved too.
Nice.
And they do not go down easy.
No. Caravan guards.
So,
I think
they were fighting the Brotherhood for whatever reason. They caught a stray shot or something, which I didn't even know was possible.
Oh yeah, you can get those things to fight the heck out of each other. Everything will fight each other.
Yeah, I just whenever there's a battle going on between the Brotherhood and whoever, you don't think about like a stray bullet hitting a caravan guard and getting them
right down the road. Yeah.
Like, oh, screw that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you guys. So I'm looking forward to my Brotherhood playthrough also because I generally don't play that. Well, all the factions are a little off.
I feel like the railroad's small.
Until
everybody gets nuked.
Yeah. So that was that's been fun. I definitely enjoy the game. There's a lot there for me still, even though I've already beaten it. And I do want to spend some more time on settlements. I did a lot with settlements in my first playthrough, but I think in my final playthrough, I'm actually going to do quite a bit with the settlements, because really they don't give you much instruction on how to have successful settlements, and I think I'm going to work on that. That'll be something that I can mess with, for an indefinite amount of time, I imagine, until the next one, until Fallout Online comes out.
You think that's the next?
I don't know. Maybe we'll see. I've actually been. I get so many reminders about Elder Scrolls Online that I'm tempted to go back and check it out again. There's a lot more content there now.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I have not had a video game interest me in a while. Fallout was good, but it just didn't
pull you in.
Yeah. I wasn't like completely addicted to it, but I never was super crazy about the Fallout series.
Yeah, that's my preferred series.
I prefer Skyrim.
Yeah.
Or Elder Scrolls to Fallout, but ESO was okay.
I think Aaron and I are the only ones that prefer Fallout.
Yeah, I'm more dragons and swords and knights and magic than post-apocalypse. But I mean, not to say that they're not.
I'm a little disappointed in the music for this one. The radio station music this time around, it's just not as good.
It definitely is not as good.
So, all right. Well, I think that is a show. Do you have anything else that you want to talk about?
No, it was good
Nope.
times.
All done. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching and listening. We will see you next week. I don't know who's going to be on the show next week. Don't even know if I'm going to be on the show next week. Probably me or Aaron, plus other people, maybe. Maybe Brick.
At like 10 in the morning. Actually, probably more like 8 in the morning.
Yeah, probably not going to happen,
No.
considering my schedule.
Yeah.
No, because I'm usually still awake at 4 or 5 a.m. So, okay. Yeah. Thank you. We will see you next week in some form. Bye.